What's going on, my fellow Jedi and Padawans? Welcome back to another Jedi gaming video. Thank you guys so much for coming back to the channel, and if you guys are new, welcome. Today we are going to be continuing our god roll, guys, with the Aberrant action. This thing is that new Rocket Assisted Sidearm that is the solar burn that came out with Act 2 inside of Echoes here. Absolutely destructive in my personal opinion, especially like in the gameplay. Pairing it with a Dawn Chorus Warlock on Prismatic or Solar just feels too crispy. So the origin trait that we have on this bad boy is Radiolarian Transposer. So rapid final blows cause targets to explode into a pool of Radiolarian fluid. Definitely good for PvE, not as great for PvP, so definitely very middle of the road origin trait. So starting us off in the PvE realm, definitely got some good perks on it, as well as we are building this out for that high impact damage. So we want our blast radius lower since it is a single target shot, just like our other assisted sidearms for these rockets, as well as something like the mountaintop. So I went with velocity as my perk for our masterwork, if you will, on this thing. Cranks it all the way up to 81, so it feels like this thing gets to the target very fast and does a lot of damage because we only have 27 on the blast radius, so this thing is super juicy in my opinion. For me, I went with smart drift control in our first for the launch barrel right here. It gives us a bunch of different perks with that projectile speed, handling, control, as well as stability. So it is a good juicy all around perk, a jack of all trades, if you will. Now right here, building it out, like I said, we want this to do as much damage as possible, so we want that blast radius to be low. So I went with these implosion rounds. Gives us that lowest blast radius with good stability as well as that velocity. So pretty good in magazine for my personal opinion. I think this is what you go with if you want the most damage and most out of the weapon. If you're looking to have a little bit more fun and wipe everything out, if you will, have that increased reload, magazine, and stability, go with tactical mag. But I personally like that implosion rounds just a little bit more for my gameplay style, but tactical mag is not a bad option either. Third column here got a couple choices. For me, my 5 out of 5, I really like this strategist here. So those final blows with the weapon generate as class ability energy. When we activate our class ability, it also gives us improved stability. So personally for me, really enjoy this because on something like a warlock with that healing in it, you're getting back your Phoenix dive so fast with this. On Titans, you can use something like your Aberrant leaps, get that nice projectiles to suspend people with this thing all the time. Same thing on our hunter, using that to dodge and slow, or using it to suspend people. Strategist is a goated perk in my personal opinion, especially on a weapon like this where you are wiping out a bunch of ads. Second option in that third column is beacon rounds. Final blows with this weapon grant your projectiles tracking for an improved duration. Dealing further damage extends this, so if you're not hitting your shots with this, you can use this for hip fire action as well. I personally do like beacon rounds on these type of weapons. I actually have it on my arc version of this, which we got from the dungeon, but a very good perk just for PvE in general. But I personally do like that strategist a little bit more. If you're looking for that extra overflow, right here we got Ambitious Assassin, gives us +5 to reload, as well as with the final blows. When we reload, we're going to get a little bit of overflow in the magazine, so having that on, not a bad thing as well. You can throw on something like backup mag to really make Ambitious shine, if you will, so your just base mag is higher than Ambitious is going to proc and make those reloads sometimes even better, but doesn't get to be the same amount every single time, so not a bad option, but it's definitely a backup for our other two perks so far. Last but not least is the heal clip right here. Reloading after dealing those final blows grants you cure to you and nearby allies. You have additional time to perform the reload with the enhanced trait here. Me personally, heal clip, I do like it on some of our weapons definitely, but if I am healing myself anyways with a cure build, restoration, something like that, I don't think heal clip is really doing that much more for me in my personal opinion, so that's why I didn't throw it as my #1 choice. I like strategist more, but with a weapon like this is one that it is good on for sure because you're getting defeats very quickly. You can reload very quickly as well with this, and then just continue to get that heal clip incandescent to proc if you want for the perfect little synergy there. Fourth column got a couple options. Again, incandescent is what I would go with as my #1 when we get those defeats. Spread Scorch, powerful combatants and guardians cause a larger radius of that scorch to spread, so definitely pairs perfect with that solar side of things. Prismatic, like I said, that Dawn Chorus Warlock with this thing, absolutely disgusting, especially for my opinion. When you pair this with that Strategist, you're getting those defeats, you're getting your class item back very, very fast. You can dodge, use your Rift, whatever it may be, but obviously the Heal Clip Incandescent, very good combo as well. Second option for me, Demolitionist, not a bad one as well, obviously. PvE staple right here. When we get those defeats, we're going to get our grenades back. When we throw those grenades, we're going to reload the weapon. So very good little DPS rotation you can get going with this if you would want. Strategist with Demo, you're basically getting both of your abilities back very quickly with defeats on this, so a very good ability spam potential on this weapon as well with that little juicy combination. Now last but not least, this would be my third option in this column, is the Swashbuckler. So when we get those melee defeats, going to stack all the way up to 5, or when we get defeats with the weapon, going to slowly stack up one by one, so it'll be easy to get that to stack up to 5 with just weapon defeat, so it'll be a good little bit of damage. But personally, I definitely like Incandescent the best. If you're looking for a little bit more ability spam or building heavy into grenades, go with Demo, and then last Swashbuckler. But this thing, just like our other Rocket Assisted Sidearms, absolutely dapping up the PvE realm, so gonna put it with all the other ones in that nice high A tier, if not even higher, so give it a nice 4-8 out of 5 for sure inside of that realm, especially when you pair it with things using that class ability often and Strategist and that Solar Prismatic subclass, spreading that scorch everywhere. Now on the flip side for PvP, not my favorite weapon. None of these Rocket Assisted Sidearms really are, but building this thing out for a little bit bigger boom, if you will, with that blast radius, so you can almost use it like explosive rounds, hitting people around edges and stuff like that. So we went with that Masterwork for blast radius on this bad boy, giving us a good old 70 on it, so it does do a big old splash damage when it hits. Building into that 4R barrel, I went with Volatile Launch, gives us the biggest blast radius. Handling and projectile speed are decreased though, so that is the negative effects of that, especially in Crucible with the handling, but we're building it out for that blast radius, that's why we have Volatile Launch. High Explosive Ordnance, kind of the same deal, gives us the biggest blast radius, a little bit of that speed. We do lose some in the magazine, but not like you're going to be getting that 15-20 in the magazine anyways inside of the Crucible. Now third and fourth column, little limited compared to the PvE realm, but I do like Strategist again because class abilities inside of the Crucible are just definitely super useful in a lot of different situations. So if you are getting those final blows consistently with this weapon, you will get a bunch of that back. Plus when you use your class ability, you get that stability on this bad boy. So personal opinion, not a bad option for the PvP realm as well. Now this is a little risk reward. If you're getting up there in their personal with some of those enemies and getting this to proc with threat detectors, you get that reload stability and handling. You will get that to proc and it'll feel very good for you, but you might be a little too close where you might get your own blast damage, do some damage on yourself, and get one of those misdefeats, if you will, misadventures. So be careful for that, but threat detector, not a bad option as well. You just got to be a little bit more safe when you play with this option. Last for me is these beacon rounds. If you can get those defeats beforehand, you will get that tracking, which definitely makes it feel way better in the Crucible, just because it feels a little slow. So you could go with a little bit in the velocity if you want for some of our other perks, but I like that big blast radius, so beacon kind of helps with that inside of the tracking aspect of it for the third column here. First option for PvP is Harmony for me right here. Final blows with other weapons improves this weapon's damage performance for an improved duration, so using a pulse rifle, hand cannon, something, auto rifle, getting those defeats quickly, you get that Harmony to proc, switch to this, and then it does definitely feel better in my opinion. That's what I would go with as my number one choice right here. So I'd go with Strategist and Harmony as my 5 out of 5 personally for the PvP realm, but not many options here in this fourth column. Reverberation is our last one in my personal opinion. Nothing else feels that great in the Crucible for me at least, so you'll have to let me know what you think, and also since this is a new perk, you'll have to let me know what you think about it. But Final Blows grants us a bigger detonation for an improved duration, so not bad in the Crucible, especially for 6s, stuff like that, where that explosion is why we built it out for a bigger blast radius anyway. So if we can get Reverberation to proc on top of all of that, you will be doing a good little bit of damage with a pretty big blast radius, so not too bad in my opinion. Probably throw it in the C tier maybe low B tier, depending on if you can get everything to proc, but think I would give it probably like a 3.0 out of 5, maybe a 3.1 out of 5, but nothing crazy for PvP. Definitely more of a PvE gun, where this thing in all of the rocket sidearms in general are just absolutely disgusting in the PvE realm, wiping out enemies, doing damage, all the above. So very, very clutch, very, very good. Definitely suggest grinding out that Act 2 story, being able to focus those two new weapons, this and the pulse rifle, let you get those red borders a little bit easier, go through those battlegrounds and get this thing crafted, because definitely up there for top 5 weapons, of course, with our other rocket sidearm this season, the Call. Absolutely disgusting. So hopefully you guys enjoy the video. I appreciate you guys a bunch. It means a lot that you guys keep coming back to the videos as well, and to the channel. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. Helps me out, helps the channel out, as well as slap that bell so you guys get all the notifications on these builds here, the god roll guides, anything like that that we throw up on the channel. So again, appreciate all you guys. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.